Hello, grade 3-4. Today we are going to be practicing the reading comprehension strategy of inferring. When you infer, you are using background information or text evidence to know something that's happening in the text without the author actually telling you explicitly. So, for example, you might know that Malfoy in Harry Potter is not a nice guy just from the evidence. We see that he is not very nice to Harry or Hermione or Ron, and we know that he bullies Neville. Now, did J.K. Rowling come out and say in the book, Malfoy was a mean boy? No, but we can infer that he is just from the text evidence. So today, we're going to be reading a book where our characters actually do the inferring for us. It's called The 7 Blind Mice. You're going to notice that they're going to be making their own inferences about something they're unsure of. So, here we go. 7 Blind Mice. One day, 7 blind mice were surprised to find a strange something by their pond. "What is it?" they cried, and they all ran home. On Monday, Red Mouse went to find out. "It's a pillar," he said. No one believed him. So a pillar would be like a tall structure supporting another structure. So he, as we remember, they're blind. He felt it though, and to him, the evidence and background knowledge told him it was a pillar. On Tuesday, Green Mouse set out. He was the second to go. "It's a snake," he said. So think about where Green Mouse was on the big something. And he would infer that it was a snake from his background knowledge of what he felt. "No," said Yellow Mouse on Wednesday. "It's a spear." He was the third in turn. So Yellow Mouse is using his background knowledge to infer what the something is. And are you noticing a pattern here? They're all going to different areas of the big something. The fourth was Purple Mouse. He went on Thursday. "Oh, it's a great cliff," he said. Orange Mouse went on Friday, the 5th to go. "It's a fan," he cried. "I felt it move." So he's using the background evidence and knowledge of feeling it move. So he's inferring it's a fan. It'd be a thin, flappy thing. The 6th to go was Blue Mouse. What do you think he's going to infer it as? And take some time to think about it. He's touching it. What could he think it might be? He went on Saturday and said, "Oh, it's nothing but a rope." Is that what you inferred? Maybe. I think we all probably know what it is because we can see what it is with our eyes, but the 7 blind mice cannot. So they have to infer what it is by touching and using their background knowledge and the evidence they have. But the others didn't agree. They began to argue. A snake, a rope, a fan, a cliff, until on Sunday, White Mouse, the 7th mouse, went to the pond. When she came upon the something, she ran up one side and she ran down the other. She ran across the top and from end to end. "Ah," said White Mouse, "now I see. The something is," and you're going to notice that she's going to be using some of our favorite poetic devices here, similes. So So you can tell me maybe what the similes are later if you want, or just know them in your head. She says, the something is as sturdy as a pillar, as supple as a snake, as wide as a cliff, as sharp as a spear, as breezy as a fan, stringy as a rope, but all together the something is. And what is the something? We don't have to infer because we can see. We know what the author's telling us the something is through pictures. The mice don't. What is the something? You can have a moment to answer. An elephant! And when the other mice ran up one side and down the other, across the something from end to end, they agreed. Now, they saw 2. The mouse moral. Knowing in part may make a fine tale, but wisdom comes from seeing the whole thing. So the white mouse saw the whole thing, so she could infer, and by saw I mean she felt the whole thing, she could infer that it was in fact an elephant. This is actually a really old book, boys and girls. I got this when I was a little girl. I think there's even an inscription on it. 1993. So if you want to do a little math fact, I am 33 now. How old would I have been if I got this book in 1993? Just a little math practice for you. So, inferring is just like what the mice did, except we do it with our reading and with our, or even when we're watching movies, because a lot of movies, they don't outright tell us like, that's the bad guy or that's the good guy. We know by their actions. And that's the same thing when we're reading. We can find evidence from the text to tell us about a character, about how they're feeling, or about what kind of person they are. So today you're going to be looking at a video, and it's a silent video, and you're going to infer some things about the characters based on the evidence, so what you see, and your background knowledge, so what you might already know. So you use those two things to help you piece together and infer some things about the characters or what's going to happen in the short film. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed The 7 Blind Mice. It was one of my favorites when I was little. And we'll see you again soon, grade 3-4.